After a long court battle, it's payday for the inventor of Vodacom's Please Call Me service. Another tragic toddler death at an unregistered creche. Hello and welcome to it. You're watching eNews Direct. I'm Duduzile Ramela.
And I'm Sandile Kangose. Good evening.
Remember to comment on any of our stories. You can, of course, find us on Twitter and Facebook. That's at eNews Direct.
And tonight our hashtags are Please Call Me and Public Enterprise.
We start with this. A former Vodacom employee who's been fighting the cell phone giant for compensation for his Please Call Me concept has been vindicated. The Constitutional Court has ordered Vodacom to pay Nkosana Makate a reasonable amount. Makate took Vodacom to the Constitutional Court last year, claiming millions of rand from the company for his contribution in developing the popular Please Call Me idea. The service was introduced by Vodacom in 2001. It allows prepaid cell phone users to send messages for free to other users asking to be called back. In 2014, the North Gauteng High Court dismissed Makate's demand for payment. It found that although Makate had entered into an agreement with then Director of Product Development, Philip Geisler, he could not prove to the court that the agreement was binding on Vodacom's part.
There were two issues. One was prescription and the other one was ostensible authority. So Vodacom claimed that the person who was contracting with me had no authority, and that the Court said today that person had ostensible authority. And then the other issue was prescription. They were saying that I was late in instituting my claim, and the Concord has found in our favor that I was not late at all. And actually, we have to now commence negotiations.
Public Enterprises Minister Lynn Brown says her job is to ensure state-owned entities benefit all South Africans and are tools to rejuvenate the economy. She was delivering her department's budget vote speech in Parliament today. She says that key businesses like Eskom and Transnet are showing success, while government is still looking at streamlining non-profitable businesses.
The Public Enterprises Minister says productive and efficient state-owned enterprises need to stay in government's hands to ensure economic growth. But she hasn't totally let go of the idea that unprofitable businesses could be sold off in part or whole.
Government, as the shareholder, expects that the state-owned companies will deliver on their mandate and reduce their reliance on the fiscus.
But opposition parties are more interested in allegations of state capture, questioning the Gupta family's influence on the SOEs. Brown says there's no evidence the Gupta family has benefited unfairly from doing business with the state.
Should the Guptas be doing business with the state? Well, I don't know why they shouldn't be doing business with the state. If nobody's taken them to court, nobody's charged them. They've come in cheaper on coal than other companies, which is better for the taxpayer. So, are they getting it in an untoward way? Are they being favoured? Bring me the proof of it, and I will absolutely investigate it.
Brown says South Africans shouldn't concentrate on only one family who does business with the state, but also on several other established family businesses who are also benefiting from state contracts. Lester Kivet, Parliament.
State Security Minister David Mahlobo believes that forces outside the country are trying to effect regime change. Delivering his department's budget in Parliament, Mahlobo warns that some international non-profit organizations are operating in the country without a clear purpose.
Some of the NGOs, they can't explain where is their funding. Where does it come from? Who are the directors? What are these activities they are doing? Well, some of them, they can't even explain that if you are a non-governmental organization working in a democratic dispensation, why you do possess equipments that we do possess ourselves. You go there to their premises, highly securitized. And these are the issues that we must be able to discuss. In South Africa, there is a space for NGOs. They played their part. They will continue to play their part. But there are those who are very funny, whose actions we know from our tradecraft that they are working for other agencies.
Two Cape Town parents are searching for answers after their toddler was killed at a local creche. Now, all they've been told is that a cupboard fell on top of her, but the explanation doesn't seem to add up.
A message to a deceased daughter who would have turned 2 next month. Vuyokazi Moeketsi and her husband are burying their daughter Bonolo this weekend, but they have no real clue as to why or how she died. Vuyokazi dropped their little girl at Sunrise Educare last Friday morning. Hours later, she received a call that her daughter was involved in an accident, not knowing Bonolo's time on earth had run out.
Dad will never rest until he finds out what happened to her, and make sure that if it takes my own life, I will have to go down that way. But for as long as I know that she's resting in peace and she knows that Daddy find out what happened to her.
The creche owner has admitted that her centre is unregistered. Are you a registered creche?
Yes, I'm the process and I've got NPO creche and I'm the process.
Do you have the papers?
Yes.
Can I see them?
What paper?
The papers to say that you're a registered creche.
I've got an NPO.
Okay, non-profit organization.
Yes, I've got a certificate for NPO and then I'm the process for the social service, the papers.
So you're not registered with social services yet?
No.
Upon entering, it occurs that the wooden cupboard has been removed from its original position.
The cupboard was over here and now it's been removed, but the lady who was taking care of the kid was sitting over there. So the cupboard basically sits here.
The question is, though, could a piece of furniture so light have killed the child? Matiani says she has no idea what happened. She wasn't there at the time. The teachers who were tasked with caring for Bonolo haven't returned to work.
I'm also shocked, like he's shocked. I'm going to close. I tell the parents I must take their children. I don't want the responsibility anymore.
That's cold comfort for the Moeketsis. Police say an inquest docket has been opened. Leanne Jansen, Cape Town.
Pupils at 6 schools in Escort, KwaZulu-Natal have been sitting at home for over 2 weeks now amid an ongoing protest. Community members stopped classes accusing the Provincial Education Department of dodgy tender processes. They're angry that service providers to the school's nutrition programs don't live in the area as required by the department's guidelines.
Njeza High School pupils are finally back in class after spending 2 weeks at home. But police and some parents are watching the school closely. It was one of 7 institutions shut down by community members who were angry about the education department's tender allocation process. This led to sporadic protests in the Loskop area. Residents claim the feeding scheme service providers at the schools don't live in their ward, as required by the department.
We know all the people from this ward that applied, but these service providers are not from our ward. No one knows them.
But 4 primary and 2 secondary schools remain closed, and teachers have been reporting to the local circuit office instead.
We were worried about our children, but we were forced to shut down the school so the department could do something about this issue. We would like to see people succeeding in this community. The government said this was meant to be for the community, not outsiders.
The Provincial Education Department says it's already investigating the allegations made by the community. It's hopeful that a resolution can be reached and that classes can resume by the end of the week. Desantathia, Escort, KwaZulu-Natal.
A quick look at world news now, and Papua New Guinea's Supreme Court has ruled that Australia's detention of asylum seekers and refugees on Manus Island is illegal. Currently, around 850 men are being held on the island. Australia sends asylum seekers to the detention centre under its offshore processing policy. But 5 judges say all steps should be taken to end the unconstitutional detentions. And Ukraine has marked the 30th anniversary of the Chernobyl disaster. Relatives of those who died held vigils around the country. The meltdown of the plant in 1986 is the worst nuclear disaster in history. Over 30 people were killed outright and thousands forced to flee. A cloud of radioactive material drifted in Russia, Belarus and parts of northern Europe. Police Minister Nathi Nhleko has today confirmed charges against EFF leader Julius Malema have been laid by the ANC, and the Hawks will be investigating Malema for a reckless and inflammatory statement in which he threatened to remove President Jacob Zuma's government by the barrel of a gun. Nhleko said Malema's comments have the potential of plunging the country into chaos. And approximately 7,500 Oak Bay employees are affected by the closing of the company's bank accounts. This prompted an estimated 200 staff members to march on 3 major banks in Johannesburg this morning to try persuade them to reopen banking accounts with the group. Banks and an auditing firm cut ties with the Gupta-linked company following allegations of state capture. Remember, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook for your comments. That's at eNews Direct, or you can head on over to our website. That's emca.com/direct. Do stay with us. After the break, we've got your business news as well as your weather. Money matters now, and close to 60,000 workers could lose their jobs by the end of the year. Trade union Solidarity says various sectors of the economy are likely to retrench. Now, with the economy struggling to grow and unemployment at around 25%, the union says it fears the worst. Solidarity says 29,000 jobs are on the line in the mining sector, while another 8,000 are at risk in metals and engineering. In the communications sector, an expected 8,000 jobs are at stake. The trade union says more jobs are in jeopardy because some sectors are codependent on each other. And with that, let's see how the markets perform today. Let's check in with the Weather Center now. Here's Joel Guy.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Weather Center. We are seeing on our latest satellite picture this cold front which is now leaving our shores, but behind it we have a southwesterly breeze which is pushing rain-bearing clouds into the Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal and Eastern Mpumalanga. And this afternoon we saw a line of sharp showers extending from the northwest through Gauteng into the Mpumalanga Highveld. Otherwise, we stayed with clear skies across the rest of South Africa. We start off Wednesday with fog and drizzle over parts of Limpopo, Mpumalanga and northern KwaZulu-Natal. A bit of fog is also forecast in the morning along the southwest coastline. Partly cloudy skies for the rest of Limpopo and much of KwaZulu-Natal, but clear skies will continue for the rest of South Africa. So it's going to be pretty quiet on Wednesday for KwaZulu-Natal with warm to hot afternoon temperatures. Partly cloudy skies in most areas. Durban peaking at 29 degrees. Mostly sunny skies are forecast across the Eastern Cape with warm to hot temperatures over the interior. It's going to be mild for the coastal areas. Port Elizabeth and Port Alfred peaking at 23 degrees. Mostly sunny skies are also forecast for the Western Cape interior. Partly cloudy, however, for Cape Town and Hermanus, both peaking at just 21 degrees. It's going to be chilly overnight for the southern areas of the Northern Cape. Temperatures dropping to below freezing around Sutherland. Otherwise, a warm to hot afternoon is forecast for much of the province. Mostly sunny skies are also forecast for the Free State, Forest Smith and Bloemfontein, warming to 26. Similar weather is forecast across the bulk of the northwest. Partly cloudy, however, for Zeerust with a high of around 27. It's going to be partly cloudy for much of Limpopo. Morning drizzle for Tzaneen and Palabora. A high of 25 is forecast for Polokwane. Partly cloudy skies are forecast for the eastern parts of Mpumalanga. It's going to be mostly sunny across the Highveld areas. Just a bit of cloud overhead for Gauteng, Johannesburg and Soweto, warming to 26. We are going to stay with mostly sunny skies on Thursday for much of the interior, but rainy and cooler weather is forecast for Cape Town. Then on Friday, it's going to be wet and cold over the western and southern parts of the country.
Thank you, Joel. After the break, we tell you how Beyonce's new visual album, with its deeper message, has overshadowed Game of Thrones. Welcome back. Now, the highly anticipated Game of Thrones Season 6 premiere has been overshadowed by superstar Beyonce's new visual album, Lemonade.
It's not much of a surprise, is it? The hour-long video debuted on the same day as the popular television series.
The past and the present merge to meet us here.
Beyonce's new one-hour visual album has become a major talking point for its fair share of powerful statements from the artist.
Why can't you see me?
A far cry from her 2013 declaration of being drunk in love with her rapper mogul husband Jay-Z, Lemonade portrays Beyonce as a jealous wife on a rampage.
What am I doing, my love?
Apart from fueling cheating rumors that surfaced during the couple's On the Run world tour, in the video, Queen Bee tells her husband to call a woman named Becky with that good hair. Many have speculated that Becky could be fashion designer Rachel Roy, who may have outed herself as Jay-Z's infamous mistress with this tweet. Good hair don't care, but we will take good lighting for selfies or self-truths always. But there's a deeper message at play. Between songs, we hear Malcolm X intone that no one's had it rougher than a black woman, and calls out black men, including her father, for not staying faithful to their wives. The internet wasted no time speculating whether this album's a prelude to divorce or a well-orchestrated publicity stunt by the husband and wife team. Narissa Subramani, Johannesburg.
A reminder of the day's top stories before we say goodbye. After a long court battle, it's payday for the inventor of Vodacom's Please Call Me service. Another tragic toddler death at an unregistered creche. And that's a wrap from the eNews Direct team.
It is indeed. Up next, Rhythm City. We're back tomorrow.
Remember, we do love to hear from you. You can send us an email to enewsdirect@etv.co.za.
Until next time, good night.